Alright, this is Joe Santa Lucia. Today is September 23rd, 2024. And it looks like we finally got the car to act as a utility company for the RV. Came in last night with 33% battery. Finally got the 12 volt pure sine wave inverter hooked up. And simply put, plugged it into the RV, and it's providing power to the RV off of the car battery. So the car acts as a utility company, just like the power lines you would get at an RV pedestal somewhere, or at a house. I've got 120 volts coming out of it. There's a DC breaker on the negative side of the connection between the inverter and the car battery. It's at 120 amps, so I'll get about 1400 watts of power before that breaker pops, just for safety. I'll detail in another video kind of how it's set up in the car, how I'm pulling 12 volts and then inverting that to 120 volts to plug it into the camper. I'll detail that in another video, but right now the way it stands is I can use the car to plug into the RV and get the RV power. I'm running a refrigerator, 120 volt refrigerator in the RV. I don't like the propane refrigerator that came in the RV, so I got rid of that. The RV came with a Dometic RM2662 is the model number, refrigerator that would run off of 120 volts or 12 volts with propane. That fridge, this is a 2005 RV. That fridge was the original fridge that came with it, and so that's almost a 20-year-old refrigerator. And it seemed like every year there would be issues with it, with the propane operating the cooling, and I'm sure it would be a simple fix, but it was just the fridge was too big too. It's like I was just storing a bunch of crap in there as well. So I got rid of that, and we're running off just like a normal small mini fridge, and that works fine for me because I really don't need to have a whole lot of junk in there because it just accumulates. And so I pulled in with 33% battery last night, plugged into the RV, 33% battery in the car, plugged into the RV, and now it's down to 29% after I got in at like 8 or 9 p.m. and now it's, I don't know, like 8 in the morning. So 12 hours, it used 4%. I can find pretty commonly around pretty much wherever I am the level 2 charger to charge the car. It's 16 cents a kilowatt. So which is probably a little bit more expensive. They're probably making, I'm sure the company, whoever installs that car charger probably gets it for 9 or 11 cents a kilowatt, so I'm paying a little bit more there. But so I don't know, under 50 cents last night. I was able to power the camper, so that's $1 a day probably. We'll see what that works out to. It doesn't matter because eventually solar is going to go on here. It's going to go on the camper. I haven't figured out the solar panels yet. The technology on those panels is changing rapidly over the past 5-10 years. Whoops. The solar panel technology has, it's like, as soon as I'm looking at one model solar panel, there's another one that does more for less money. So I've been kind of holding that. That will be the last part, but anyways, that's that. So that's pretty exciting news. I don't really need to have um, an electricity outlet to power the camper. So yeah.